During the first 5 nights at Freddy's, the phone guy mentions an accident that is referred to as the Bite of 87.
Okay, so just be aware, the characters do tend to wander a bit. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up if they get turned off for too long. They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too, but then there was the Bite of 87. Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
During the recorded message, the phone guy mentions that one of the animatronics bit a patron. The severity of the bite seems to imply that a great deal of force was applied to the victim in order to break through flesh, bone, and even brain matter. It is because of that it is often speculated that Foxy the Pirate is the main suspect of this heinous accident. It makes sense that Foxy would be the main suspect. Foxy's attraction, the Pirate Cove, is out of order. Foxy seems to have been forgotten, since he appears to be in need of repair. His jaw looks to be loose and hanging, as if it were broken. Perhaps he broke his jaw on a human skull? He does have the snout and the teeth for the job, but what about Freddy? If you look closely, and I mean very closely, because I didn't even notice this until I did some research on the interwebs, Freddy looks like he has stains on his face. And those aren't pizza stains. Those look like handprints. Now, this is a thumbnail from the mobile app, so I'm not sure if this is something that should be taken as anything more than a demonstration of how fierce these cute, cuddly animatronics can be. Wait a second. Those hands look a little too big to belong to a child. Fancy mobile app thumbnail or not, wasn't our victim a kid? Isn't this the reason for not touching Freddy? Not to overanalyze, even though that's what the show is about, but isn't this maybe the creator's clue to whom our victim might be? This is getting a little convoluted. Now we have to deduce the victim, too. Well, why not? We might have enough evidence to unearth all the answers to all the questions, right? Skipping ahead to 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, most of the speculations and allegations about who bit who is kind of blown to the wind. The second game eludes the player into thinking they're playing a sequel.
Hello? Hello? Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
All the elements are there. We have new animatronics, a new building, a grand reopening. Hell, even all of our favorite characters are broken down to spare parts and rendered useless while rotting in the back room. Haha, fooled you. It's not until you get your paycheck that you realize that you're working at the all-new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, formerly Fred Bear's Family Pizzeria something or rather, in 1987, the same year as the incident in question. In the first game, you have no idea what year it is. 19XX? That's a year? Must have slept through it. As a matter of fact, in the second game, we don't even get to hear about the aftermath of the incident in question. There's no pre-recorded message from our favorite faceless phone guy. All we get to know is the building is on lockdown. Someone stole the yellow bear costume, and now none of the animatronics are acting right.
Hello? Hey there, Night 4. I told you to get the hang of it. Okay, so, just to update you, there's been somewhat of an investigation going on. We may end up having to close for a few days, I don't know. I want to emphasize, though, that it's really just a precaution. Fazbear Entertainment denies any wrongdoing. These things happen sometimes. It'll all get sorted out in a few days. Just keep an Just as a side note, though, try to avoid eye contact with any of the animatronics inside if you can. Someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. We're not sure. But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive toward the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare. Anyway, hang tight, we'll all pass. Good night.
Okay, so, to recap, we know 3 things. The bite happened sometime in or after the second game. It was one of the new animatronics that did it, since the old ones weren't wandering the floor at the time. And finally, the animatronics lost their privileges of roaming the floor during the day due to the bite of 87. Even with the most educated guess, it is very hard, if not impossible, without further knowledge, to point a finger at the biter and now the, bitee? So I'm going to try very hard, my very best, to come up with a suspect and a victim. I honestly believe that you, the player, are the victim. Well, more specifically, Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Hello? What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics. Make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay? For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. Okay, good night, and good luck.
What convinces me of this is during the 6th night on the second game, there's one more day, one more shift. On that one final shift, you're supposed to stay close to the animatronics to make sure they don't hurt anyone. Well, that's one way to traumatize a group of unsuspecting children for the rest of their natural lives. Funny side note. Did you notice that the phone guy didn't read all the strange legal mumbo-jumbo to you in the second game like he did in the first game?
First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know.
The reason why we make rules is because someone did something stupid, like poop on the floor. Or in this case, some poor security guard doing his job had his forehead bitten into by some crazed, family-friendly robot. The game alludes to the animatronics were acting violently to the staff and not so much to anyone else that we know of, since we can safely assume that these machines aren't the brightest crayons in the box, what with all the not recognizing the player as a guard and trying to stuff them into an empty death suit and all, we can assume that they also can't tell the difference between one adult and another. I know what you're thinking. Oh, but they're able to spot a predator from like a mile and a half away. Yeah, well, we're in the 80s in this game. This is a time where laser discs were the size of medium pizzas and facial recognition was science fiction. You really think these animatronics work the way they were supposed to? Joke's on you. To get a little off topic, I don't think the new animatronics are demonically possessed. I do, however, believe the old animatronics are, but that's a topic for another time. With this theory in mind, maybe the attack wasn't so much a predator-induced attack as it was a mistaken identity. I know the animatronics were programmed to spot a predator from some database that they have loaded into their memory banks, but maybe that was tampered with. Maybe it never worked at all. Or maybe, as the internet has discussed, the character Jeremy Fitzgerald is some pervert, and that's why he was attacked. This is leading me to which animatronic I think the assailant is. Now, keep in mind, with this assailant, he was very popular, he was very kid-friendly. As a matter of fact, he was so loved, the kids couldn't keep their hands off of him. Heck, even the message says they had to fix him daily. I really think the new kid-friendly Foxy, or the Mangle, may actually be the assailant in question. I'm not saying these things are alive, but let's just speculate they are. Let's speculate that they're some advanced AI. So maybe the Mangle was jealous, or maybe it was hungry for brains, or maybe it was just doing its job, but I really think Foxy's failed second coming was the biter of 1987. Either all of the animatronics malfunctioned in some way, shape, or form, or they all went into some high alert mode when the yellow bear suit was taken, but the animatronics were jumpy, and really not just at the player, but the staff. So maybe Jeremy Fitzgerald is clear of this whole pervert thing, or maybe he's not. Either way, the Mangle makes sense only because he was favored by the kids, and they used a lot of parts from the old machines to repair him. You know, with the whole demonic theory, this might make him the most evil, possessed monster beast of the entire game. But I guess we'll have to find out in the third installment. That there's gonna be a third one, right? Because I really, really need my fix. Really bad.